Hi, my name is Jenny. Not yet. And hi, my name is Jenny, and I am the Dean of Untitled Chapter School of Government. I'd like to welcome you to my talk on how the Untitled Chapter School of Government is focusing on nation building. Okay. Okay, so Untitled Chapter School of Government the Untitled Chapter School of Government is a school that is very proud of our legacy, and we are very proud of the fact that we are really moving in the direction of nation building. What we want to do and what we are trying to do is that we want to make sure that all our students that go through that come out on the other side can say that they are nation builders. They participate in the society and they are always working towards the betterment of the Malaysian society or whatever country that they are from. So nation building is actually a really interesting concept. The idea of nation building is that it's a way to bring together diverse peoples, okay? So nation building is about making sure that people come together. People have, and what we say, using shared symbols, building institutions together. And by doing that, they can bring stability, prosperity, equality in the development process to everyone who lives in that particular country or nation. So nation building is about strengthening the social ties, the institutional ties, strengthening and improving life for everyone who lives within that country. So it's about building a better, stronger, more prosperous, more stable, more equal society for everyone in that country. So when we think about nation building, there are many, many things that goes into building a nation. Some of this is done by the government. Some of this is done by corporations and businesses. Some of this is done by those that work for non-governmental organizations or charities. Some of this is done by religious organizations. Some of this is done by us as normal human beings going around our day. Okay, so nation building is not something that you do or not a process that is only about the government and how the government functions or what the government does. Nation building is something that is more of a mindset, something that we all should have when we do business or when we carry out our normal days. Obviously, the government and the public sector, as we call it, carry a larger share of this process, but it's something that everyone in society can contribute to, be it in the public sector, the government sector, be it in the corporate sector, the business sector, or be it as a private citizen. So when we talk about nation building, we talk about it, and these are what I'm presenting here in front of you right now. It's a part of nation building. There is more to it, but when you think about nation building, it's very often about building strong in social institutions. Social institutions are like our education system. Not just the schools, not just the universities, but the curriculum, the teachers, the idea of an education, the healthcare system, a strong legal system, having a strong and fair and just police force, having courts that work well. All of these are part of this institution. So institutions are everything from our local governments all the way up to the federal government, the ministries, and other public institutions that exist in our societies. So nation building really focuses on making sure that these institutions are well managed, efficient, fit for purpose, and are reflected what the people actually want these institutions to do. So another part of nation building then is the idea of good governance and leadership. Nation building needs good governance, needs a open-minded, caring, and communicating leadership. This is how we build the strong institutions that we need for a strong nation. Nation building is also about making sure that the development, economic development, social development, environmental development are equally shared, that the cost and the benefits are equally shared throughout society, making sure that development has equitability, there's equitable growth, there is a fairness in the system. The nation that we build is not only strong, but it's also just and fair and equal, making sure that no one is left behind. So when we design policies, so nation building then is about designing policies and implementing policies in a way that works for the betterment of the country, that making sure that our institutions are stronger, and also making sure that the benefits of this is equally distributed throughout society. Other aspects of strong nation building is having good foreign relations, having good relations with your neighbors, having good relations with your trade partners, having good diplomatic ties to make sure that the nation has a good standing in the world. The nation is respected, the nation is welcomed around the world. And this we do through foreign policy and through the diplomatic services. The final point I want to point out, which is not the final point in nation building, because there are many more components to this, but is also the idea of having a well-regulated economy. Making sure that the business practices, making sure that the banks and the financial institutions work in the interest of the country. Making sure that, yes, profits are fine, but profiteering and corruption are not part of the business sector, making sure that the nation, the people, all benefit from how the economy is developing. So nation building is all this and more. So when we think about nation building in Malaysia, one of the persons that keep coming back up is Tun Abdul Razak Hussein. One of my favorite quotes from Tun Abdul Razak is, "This is our home, and it is our determination to make this country a happy, prosperous country for all." Because this quote really sums up Tun Abdul Razak's determination as a nation builder. Tun Abdul Razak led Malaysia through a period of rapid change. He brought this country into the modern era, and he shaped it to what it is today. A country and he focused in his work to making sure that the growth and the development in Malaysia benefited everyone and not just some. He did this through a focus on good governance and a communicating leadership style. He did this by listening to experts, to people, as well as other statesmen and other political leaders throughout the world. And he was a remarkable man in his approach to nation building. And in TARSOG, we are really happy to be part of his legacy. We take the legacy of nation building that he left behind, and we try to instill this in all of our programs. Currently, in Janabu Razak School of Government, we are offering 3 programs, all of which have this idea of nation building at its core and at its center. Our first program is the Bachelor of Arts in Governance and Public Policy with honors. This program, you can hear from the name that this is a program really concerned with the development of strong institution governance. That's what it is. Development of strong institutions and the development and implementation of sound public policy. But we also have a Bachelor of Economics. And we do often get comments and questions, why does a School of Government have a program in economics, a Bachelor of Economics? And we say, because nation building cannot be done without sound economic policy. Nation building cannot be separated from the economy. A strong nation needs strong economic development. And having an economics program inside a School of Government means that we actually target our economic program on how to teach our students how to help build a strong and resilient economy where development can benefit all. Finally, our final program that we're offering is our Masters in Public Policy. The Master in Public Policy is all about making sure that we can develop good, sound political or policy decisions for a country. They can be well implemented. They work towards the common good. There is ethics, there is leadership, there is good governance in everything that the policymakers do. So all these 3 programs are part of our nation building process in how we train future nation builders. So let's start with the Bachelor of Arts in Government and Public Policy. Let's look at the specific. So why do we say that this is a nation building program? You can look at what these programs give in terms of technical skills, in terms of interpersonal skills, in terms of personal skills, how they contribute to the graduate being a nation builder, and finally, what career prospects there is with such a program. So you look at the technical skills that this program gives. It's a broad program. So if you study in our Governance and Public Policy bachelor's degree, you will be given a foundation in political science, in public administration, in public management. You will have an in-depth introduction to public policy making and implementation. You will be given training in international relations, sociology, demography. We have a wide range of economics, even for this program, meaning that you will study development economics, Malaysian economic policy, you will be studying international trade and other relevant economic theories that actually help contribute to the development process. Because at no point can you have a nation building that is divorced from the economic development, and our program reflects that. You will also have a background in statistics. That might not be something that most of you go yay about, but it's actually very important. having and being able to read and understand statistics about labor market distributions or about what the country looks like is the best way to making sure that policies that are developed are actually based on reality. Finally, we also focus a lot on research methodology, making sure that you can always do your own research, you can always learn more where you need for the future. So these are what we call the technical skills, the hard skills, the subjects that you're studying, okay? So there will be there are more subjects in these, but there's also more in-depth and spin-offs of these subjects throughout the 3-year course. But other things that we're focusing on is how to make sure that a nation builder does not only have technical skills, okay? Someone that can participate in nation building, yes, have to have the technical know-how, need to know the subjects, but that person also need to be able to work with others. So in TARSOG, for our different programs, we really focus on honing and improving the interpersonal skills, how you work, how students and our graduates can work and lead others. For the governance and public policy program, we really focus on the two first ones, leadership skills and management skills. How to respond to others, how to communicate to others, how to lead by listening, how to lead by understanding, empathizing with those that you are supposed to be leading. Management, how to make sure that your leadership is effective, how to make sure that you can actually carry out what you need to do. So we also then focus on various forms of management. We focus on project management, how to make sure that the projects that you're doing can be successful, whether it's a small scale project or a large scale project. Negotiation and conflict management, how to make sure that when you are in a leadership position, you can solve the problems and not create them. We focus on ethics and good governance. What are the leadership? What are the ideal forms of leadership? How can a leader make sure that the integrity of that position is always guaranteed? We also look at cross-cultural management. We make sure that our graduates know how to behave, know how to work with people from diverse backgrounds, making sure that as leaders, as team leaders, as workers, as co-workers, they are always ready to work as part of a team. So interpersonal skills are very important, but so are your personal skills, your own way of carrying yourself. And in our program, in governance and public policy, we focus a lot on communication. How to be able to make sure that you can get your points across, that you can argue your case, that you can communicate clearly, that people can understand you when you are communicating concerns or solutions. We focus on problem solving and critical thinking, making sure that you as a graduate can always contribute to a solution and moving forward. We focus on flexibility, adaptability, making sure that as a graduate you can fit into any organization or any workspace that you are ending up in. Confidence, personal mastery, and entrepreneurship are other things that we really make sure that our programs give. Making sure that when you go out in the workforce, you are truly ready to take responsibility for your work, stand up for who you are, but also carry yourself with confidence and grace through the situation. How does this make a GPP or a governance and public policy graduate a nation builder? Well, first of all, a GPP graduate has the relevant knowledge in public policy, development, and administration. This is key, okay? The subject matter is key. This is a unique program, a uniquely put together program to make sure that the graduate has skills that are necessary for the role. This also is a program that makes sure that you have skills as leaders and managers. It's also a program that makes sure that you are well-rounded and you can work and communicate with people from all backgrounds. These are some of the key functions, key aspects of being a nation builder. You can take these nation building skills and you can work in many different places. Obviously, this is an ideal program for public sector employment, but it's not only for public sector employment. It can be a program to work for policy development, whether or not it's the public sector or the private sector in a business development. So your skills will be applicable in working on improving corporate policy in the private sector. Project managing, again, it can be done in the private sector. This is a program that is ideally suited for anyone who wants to do project management. Research and consultancy are also other ways that you can put this degree to good use. You can work in policy implementation and enforcement, meaning that it is an ideal degree to work in law enforcement or work in other regulatory bodies. Finally, it's an ideal degree for journalism. One of the things that journalists have to be able to do is understand where we currently are going wrong and come with some kind of solutions to what we can do better. And this degree is superbly suited for making it into journalism. It's not a journalism program that you need to be able to write well or speak well or have a broadcast personality if that's what you want to do, but it's a good base to start from. Moving on to our economics program, you will see that, yes, there are similarities, but there are also differences. For the economics program, the economics is key and center when it comes to the technical skills. You will get a very strong foundation, both in macro and microeconomics. The key difference between our economics program and many other economics programs is that we put macro first. In most economic programs, in Malaysia and even globally, microeconomics for an undergraduate is the key part. But because this program is in a school of government, our focus is mainly on macroeconomics. Macroeconomics means the economics of a country, not the economics of a business. So we focus then on development economics, statistics and econometrics, how to understand the data, how to work with the data, trade and international finance, banking and banking regulations, public finance. These are all things that go into the economic side. But just as I said that in government and public policy, there needs to be economics. In order to understand economics, you also need to understand society at large. So another thing that we really emphasize in our economics program is the background in political science, in sociology, public policy, and public administration. Because the economy, and especially if you talk about the economics of a nation, the economic policy of a nation, cannot be separated out from the rest of the society. So our economics program, in terms of technical skills, is a unique combination of social science, social studies, and also very strong fundamentals in economic theory and economic concepts. But just as an economist, just as for the government and public policy program, economists needs to be very strongly founded in economic technical skills in order to be able to work and thrive after your degree. Interpersonal skills and personal skills are just as important. So again, in the economics programs, we have the same interpersonal skills, strong focus on leadership, strong focus on management, project management, negotiation and conflict management, ethics, good governance is just as important for an economic leader as a political leader or someone working in an economic sector, as someone working in a public sector, to understand the need for ethics and good governance and cross-cultural management as well. When it comes to personal skills, again, communication, problem solving, flexibility, confidence, personal mastery, and entrepreneurship. These are all key things that makes our program so special. We really train to bring out these interpersonal and personal skills, making sure that by the time you graduate from our program, you can be a nation builder. So how can you be a nation builder coming from a Bachelor of Economics program? Well, you're skilled in economic policy and development. So you understand how the economy contributes to the well-being of the nation, to the strengthening of the institution, to the good governance, to the equitable development. But you're also skilled in teamwork and project managing, meaning that you can work well with others. You can be an economist in a team of non-economists, and you can take charge and lead and be part of working for an understanding and economic development from a multi-perspective. And also, you will be an analytical person that can solve problems and develop new ideas for progress and prosperity for all. And these are also really, really key part of being a nation builder. So what jobs can you then take on? What are your career prospects? You can be an analyst. So this can be in economic forecasting, it can be research and consultancy, it can be in banking and risk management. But again, you can also be a journalist. You can go into the public sector. You can go into the private sector to do project managing, to do other similar jobs. So it's a very, very diverse, it's a very good foundational program to have moving into their career opportunities, both in the private sector and in the public sector. Finally, we also offer the Masters in Public Policy. So Masters in Public Policy are for those that already have a bachelor degree. It's a secondary, it's a postgraduate degree. The Masters in Public Policy is put together to give very in-depth technical skill in policy analyst, policy implementation, public finance and budgeting, regulatory policy, economics of public policy, research methods, and data analysis. Okay, so it's a very specific skilled training program that is put together according to the best international practices. So it's a program that is reflecting the best programs in the world in Masters of Public Policy. We cover the same subject matter with the same level, with the same backgrounds. But also, we do focus on interpersonal and personal skills. For a master's program, the duration is shorter, the level of activity is slightly, in terms of social engagement, is slightly less than compared to an undergraduate program. But still, what we really focus on in terms of interpersonal skills is good governance, leadership, management, and ethics. So we really do try to make sure that the graduates from this program have good, well-rounded background. We also have personal skills, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, flexibility, and entrepreneurship. So how does this lead you to be a nation builder? Well, it's a program that makes you sure that you are a skilled and ethical policy designer and implementer, and is also making sure that you're an analytical person that can solve problems and develop new ideas for progress and prosperity. Career prospects are mainly towards the public sector, good public manager, and policy implementer. So who will teach you? Well, we have a multidisciplinary team of experts. We have Prof. Nick Rosna, who is an expert in public policy. We are greatly honored to have Professor Tansri Sulaiman Mahbub, the former head of the Economic Planning Unit, to be our adjunct, teaching economic policy. We have Dr. Sukipli Omar, another adjunct who used to be the head of the PNB Economic Research. He teaches development economics. We have Dr. Yapun Khan, who teaches economics. You have me, who teaches political science, sociology, and international relations. You have Marzia, who teaches management, public management. And you have Sir Azami, who teaches public administration and public policy. So this is our team, this is who we are, and we are the ones that can make sure that you will learn and proud to become a great nation builder. So I have questions, I understand. Let me go back to the questions. Sorry, I have the translated part of the question. So what activities or programs were carried out during the month of independence during this pandemic? We work closely together with our students. At the moment, carrying out activities is a little bit difficult because of the distance between us. Usually during this period, we have a lot of social events. We bring together our students. We usually have events commemorating the Merdeka period. But obviously, being online is a more difficult period. But what we do, the kind of activities that we have to celebrate Malaysian independence are typically, we usually have mini parliaments, and we will have mini parliaments in conjunction with National Day, not with Merdeka Day, in September. We also have debates. We have a lot of forums where we invite guest speakers to discuss and give insights on how to celebrate or how to ensure that Malaysia gets stronger and better. So basically the things that we do is to making sure that we bring in more expertise, more in-depth discussion and debate, celebrate the diversity of opinions and how this leads to a better understanding for the country. Is that a good answer? Okay. Is there any other question? Okay, so since there are no more questions, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you all registering. I hope to see you all joining us in wanting to become a nation builder. Thank you so much, and goodbye.